This video is going to show you how to set up your graph for the core graphing day and night hours. First thing we need to do is to read through the information and do some highlighting so that we understand everything that we need to do. You are going to be constructing a multi-line graph. You're going to use graph paper that's been provided for you. On your graph, you will need a title, a label for the X and Y axis, and a key. In your key, you're going to choose different colors for each of the different locations. We have 0 degrees, 30 degrees north, 60 degrees north, and 90 degrees north. The color that you choose for each of these locations will be the color of the points that you will plot and the color of the line as you connect those points. Along your y-axis, you will have numbers going from 0 to 25 because that's going to indicate the amount of time that we have in a day. And along the x-axis, you will need to label each of the lines as a month. But because the names of the months are so long, we're going to abbreviate them with just their first letter. Okay? We're going to plot each of these locations on the graph. Once all the points have been plotted for a location, meaning all of a column, then you're going to go ahead and connect those points together with the same color. The first thing that I would suggest to you is to choose your 4 colors. And if at any point in time you need to pause the video so that you can go ahead and do what I'm doing, that would be helpful as well. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to shade in the colors that I'm going to use for each location. And these will become the colors that I'm going to use on my graph for each of these locations. It will also be the colors that I'm going to go in and make my key for. So I'm coloring in. Okay, I've got brown and purple. I've got a blue. And it does not matter what colors you choose. You can choose whichever color you like. And then I have a green. Okay. All right. So now that I have all of this information done, I need to go ahead and set up my graph paper. So I'm going to set this piece to the side so that I can continue to look at it. And I'm going to set up my graph paper. So grab a piece of graph paper. You might want to get a ruler because I do like for you to use straight edges. And you also need a pencil. I'm going to do it in ink so that you can see my lines, but I would prefer that you do everything in pencil. Okay, the first thing that I want you to do is to count up 4 lines from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to make a mark because that's going to be the line that I'm going to work on. And then I'm going to count 4 lines from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to make a mark. These are going to be the 2 lines that I'm going to use for my X and my Y axes. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to draw across. And then I'm going to draw up. Okay. The next thing that I need to do is to go in and label my X and my Y axis. So I'm going to go in and count from 0 to 25 on my Y. My Y is the vertical line. So each line will be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right, so I have that. And these numbers represent what? They represent the amount of time that can happen in a day. So I'm going to put time And this is, of course, done in hours. Okay. Now, along my x-axis, it tells me that I should go ahead and do the months of the year. But again, they were too long, so I'm going to use their abbreviation of just their first letter. I'm also going to skip a line between each because I have lots of room and I want my graph to be big so that I can see my information to answer my questions later. So I'm going to skip a line and then I'm going to do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And again, we said that these were the months of the year. So I'm going to label down here. Okay. All right. The other two things that I was told that I needed to make sure I had on my graph was to have a title. So you're going to give it a title. Your title should tell us what this graph is representing. A hint would be the title that's on the worksheet. And then we're also going to create our key. And I'm going to put my key up here in the top right-hand corner. So my key is going to be my colors and what my colors represent. So I used brown for 0 degrees north, 0 degrees, which is the equator. So this is going to be 0 degrees. And then I used purple, and purple was for my 30 degrees north. This in ink. Then I used blue. And again, this is for 60 degrees north. And I used green. And the green represented my 90 degrees north. Okay, so now my paper is all set up and I'm going to start plotting, or you are going to start plotting. So let me show you a couple of hints. When I plot, I think of this as my X and Y coordinates, just like in math. And so my X coordinate is always going to be the months. And then my Y coordinate is going to be the point at my location. So each of these will be my Y coordinate. I would suggest that you do one column at a time. Use your colored pencil, put your point, and then go in, use a ruler and connect your lines. Make this nice and neat. Neatness counts when you are doing a graph. Once I have finished the first column, then I'm going to go to my next column, and then my third and my fourth. And again, remember that it's going to be like January and 10, February and 11, March and 12, April and 13. Okay, if you are still confused, go back and review some of the information that I've told you here, or raise your hand and hopefully somebody can come and help you. When you finish with your graph, there are questions for you to answer. Your graph will help you to answer these questions by looking at it. If you have any questions, again, raise your hand and we will come and help you. Thank you.